Hello everybody and welcome to Car Confections. You see what we have behind us? This is our 2020 Tesla Model 3 long-term tester. And what we're going to be doing in this video is a 2-year update video. It's actually been a little over 2 years, 26 months yeah. To be exact. How long we've had this Model 3. We've driven it a little over 17,000 miles. And what we wanted to do today is give you a long-term update, see if you should buy one of these Tesla Model 3s and see how it is holding up after 2 years. So let's go ahead and get to it. So we'll start out today's video by talking about the exterior of the car. Now we'll go ahead and preface this by saying there's not really much going on here. Nothing has happened to the outside of our Model 3 and it has held up well. But I wanted to give you a quick exterior walk around. Here's our Model 3.
Yeah,
this is...
Just went through the car wash, so it's nice and clean.
Yeah. This is the standard range in the white paint color. It's actually the cheapest Tesla that you could buy. It was a $35,000 Tesla, so That's an interesting thing if you're not familiar with the channel. This is actually the cheapest Tesla that you can buy. So.
And the current one does not start anywhere near $35,000.
No, it does not.
That's the way things are in 2022. We haven't really made a video specifically about this, but we did put new wheels on this. So we first bought it, it came with the Aero wheels, so that's the hubcap and the smaller 18-inch alloy underneath. We decided to go to a 19-inch alloy. This is from T-Sport line. They're a big supplier for aftermarket Tesla type of wheels and other things. So these are really nice. We've had these on for about a year, I think. And we've really been a big fan. Yeah. They improved the look of this vehicle exponentially, in my opinion. And I do like this gray finish.
Yeah, and with these wheels, it actually didn't reduce the range by very much at all. If you're curious, we went from the 18-inch Aero wheels to these. It reduced the maximum range by like a few miles. So it was not a significant decrease to not have the hubcap covers and larger wheels. So that's something worth noting. Now, if we walk around, it's just your signature Model 3 going on here. We do have our Car Confections branding here on this side, and then here's the back. But guys, that's all we're going to talk about for the exterior of this Model 3. But we will be talking about our warranty repairs as well as a few different things that have went wrong with this Model 3. We have a few recalls actually.
And I think a very important one is the battery. How's the battery holding up over these 2 years? So let's go ahead and hop inside and we'll start talking about all those things.
Alrighty guys, so let's start off this video by talking about the hot topic, which I imagine would probably be battery degradation, because that of course is something that you're interested in knowing about. This is the standard range model, like I mentioned on the outside. So we started out with 220 miles of range. So how much of that is gotten eaten into over the 18,000 miles that we've driven in this car?
Right, so I will pull out my notes here. I've done some calculations prior to this video. So as we said, as the standard range model, we start out with 220 miles in December 2020. Our current maximum now is 185 miles when we put it in trip mode. Tesla recommends charging to 90% most of the time, so when we do that, that's 167 miles. So a quick calculation there shows you that that is a loss of 35 miles, and that is 15.9% or 16% if we're rounding loss of range in 26 months. So I thought that was a little more than what I was anticipating.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it is a little bit more than what I was thinking. It is worth noting for the vast majority of those 26 months it was outside. So I'm not really sure all of the technical components that go into battery degradation, but I assume that it being outside and in the harsher elements makes it lose more battery than if it were garage kept the entire time. So it was outside for the vast majority of that.
We supercharged it more during the first half of our ownership than recently.
Yeah.
Obviously, long-term use of supercharging will degrade it faster. That being said, I don't think we used it in a really uncommon way. Of course, this is within a specification. Tesla will make a repair if you lose 30% of your range in the first, or during the warranty coverage.
So 4 year, 50,000 miles.
50,000. So we'll keep an eye on that in the future, but that's where we stand so far. Hopefully that rate will slow down. The interesting thing though is with the standard range model, we're actually software limited on the battery capacity.
Yeah.
So the standard range plus, when we bought this model, was 250 miles. We were software limited those 30 miles. So it's interesting to see it degrade at the same rate, even though technically we have like battery cells that
are unused.
have never even been used,
Yeah.
I guess, because they're just limited off inside of the battery pack. So that's kind of an interesting phenomenon. But we're now seeing how that plays out in real life 2 years later.
Yeah. And let us not forget, we have actually added something new to the interior of our Model 3. We have added new all-weather Foxpark floor mats. These were a pretty recent addition, and we have been super impressed with them. It came in right before our winter season, so having the all-season floor mats for the winter have really just been absolutely a blessing to not get all that salt and grime all over the carpet, because previously we had Camry floor mats, because this Model 3 actually did not come from the factory with any floor mats at all, so it's been a big upgrade.
So we got the 5-piece set, which does come with a trunk liner and even a frunk pad. That's right, even the frunk is protected from any debris when we stick our fast food in there.
Yeah, our Burger King, we stick that in there. It is nice and protected from any leaks.
And these Foxpark mats are laser measured and 3D printed, so they fit exactly into the shape of our Model 3. They have the raised edges, so they go up the sides when debris, moisture, especially like snow, when you kick that in there and it melts, you're not going to have that moisture be getting on your carpet because it's contained inside of the rubber mat. The other big benefit of that is when you take the mat out to clean it out, you don't have to worry about the dirt sliding off onto the carpet because it's all contained inside of the mat itself, so you can just dump it and then spray it off, wipe it out, whatever you're going to do with it.
And it's also quite rigid, so it comes out in one solid piece without like folding over and flapping around.
These mats do come with a 1-year warranty, and we look forward to testing them out in the future. So far, it has been great.
It has. Alrighty guys, though, let's go ahead and talk about any recalls that we've had with the Model 3. We actually have had a few, the vast majority of which have been fixed with a software update, which is, of course, one of the benefits of owning a smart vehicle like this is, you know, an update at 2 a.m. in your garage, and then you wake up the next morning, it's already fixed, so you don't have to worry about taking it to the dealership or anything like that, so that's certainly very nice. However, we did just, ironically, just a few days before we filmed this, get a letter in the mail giving us another recall notice. This time it's for the coaxial cable in the cargo area for the trunk and rear camera, I believe.
Yeah, it's something about how it loosens up over time as you open and close the trunk, and that can cause a failure of your backup camera. So the plan right now, according to the document we were just sent from the NHTSA, that says that they were going to come and inspect that, I believe via mobile service, and then make a repair if necessary, or add a certain part to this to make sure that this won't fail in the future.
Yeah.
Now, the next topic we want to address is warranty repairs. I am happy to report that since our last update, which was at the 1-year mark, I believe, we have not had any additional warranty repairs. As you may know, from those past videos, we had some small minor updates or repairs done. So there's like a small dash in the console over here that needed to be fixed. Part on the window trim here raised up and unclipped itself, and then there's a piece underneath the vehicle
lower
that started to separate, and all those things were done with Tesla mobile service, and they basically just reset some clips and snapped it.
All of them had to do with clips, so Tesla
and
apparently
the vibrating speaker grill, well, which was a clip as well.
Yeah, so they were all had stuff to do with the clips. So yeah, Tesla probably doesn't have the best clips, or doesn't know how to use them. You're right, because the clips were all messed up for our Model 3 for sure.
That's right, but just like we said in those past videos, the mobile service really kind of makes that a lot better. You know, I'd be mad about it if I had to take it in each time, but the fact that someone just pulled up, remotely unlocked the car, made those repairs, and then said, yo, it's done,
Yeah.
it made it where I can't really be upset about it.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. I want you to listen for this last part. So, the last part we want to talk about is just general issues that we've had with it. We actually do have one current, so hopefully we'll be able to hear it a little bit on camera. It might be a little hard to hear,
It's
but
very subtle.
yeah.
Oh,
so
that was a good one right there.
yeah, you can definitely hear it. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick up on it, but we definitely have some creaky element. This is a new thing for us.
Yeah,
so
just like a couple weeks ago, this
yeah.
developed.
We've been traveling quite a bit, and we noticed that it just happened like after we traveled, we got back in the car, and then we were pulling out of the driveway, and it was just like grrr, and making all types of noises. And we haven't had time to get this fixed yet, or really to know what it is. But there is certainly something creaking when we brake and accelerate and turn.
Sounds like it's in the suspension.
Yeah.
Something in the front here is just creaking. Of course, you wouldn't really expect anything to be creaking at 18,000 miles, but this is a recent development. We'll keep you guys updated on this. Like I said, we're gonna have to investigate it or call in mobile service to take a look at it.
Overall, it didn't appear to be too rare of a thing to have a Model 3 creaking with this type of mileage. I looked it up a little bit, and I believe it has something to do with the front suspension. So hopefully it'll be an easy fix. Like Drew said, we'll keep you updated on this, but that is an issue that we're having. So that's something worth noting. With 20,000 miles, really you shouldn't have any issues at all, and you shouldn't have any issues for 100,000 miles or more. But we are having a few different things going wrong with the Model 3. Hopefully they're not anything major, but we won't know until a little bit later. Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
That was a good one.
Anything that flexes the suspension
Yeah.
a lot makes it really creaky. And when it gets colder, it gets worse.
Yeah.
So we have two other issues. One is the persistent windshield wipers. We have discussed this extensively. In 26 months, despite several updates, the windshield wipers, the automatic ones, have really not got any much better at all.
No.
It's just one of those deals, like it runs through a camera. There's a reason none of the other automakers run their wipers by a camera-based thing. It's just difficult to see rain, especially at night. Mist from cars in front of you, and it wipes at times it shouldn't wipe. It doesn't wipe when it needs to wipe.
Yeah.
They're not great, that's
And
for sure.
for instance, right now we have a Lexus UX with rain sensing wipers, and I actually drove it a few days ago in pouring down rain, and it did a fantastic job of knowing when the rain was happening and how to wipe. And this car doesn't do a great job unless it's like really raining hard, or if it's visible in the daylight. It gets confused if it goes like under a street lamp or something like that. And the camera can actually see it. It'll start wiping really fast and then ease up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And for the last item, we've discussed this numerous times, the software updates, right? You have the ability to update things remotely, overnight, whatever, and that is by and large a great benefit. It has a lot of pros, but it does have some cons. For one of them is the fact that they've redesigned the UI about a month ago, roughly, throughout the whole Tesla lineup, and it's not an improvement. Now, of course, like I said, no one asked us if we liked it or didn't like it or whatever. It updated itself, and this is the new setup. It's quite a bit different than what we've been used to over the previous year and a half that we had the vehicle, and I have to say it's had some difficulties kind of getting used to it. All the things that you knew where they were, you woke up and you walked into your garage, and now you don't know where any of that stuff is.
Yeah.
Now, so like I said, this is pros and cons. Some people like this update. I don't. It has some problems with it.
I think it's okay.
Heated seats, there's no longer a dedicated button for that. I don't see how that's an improvement.
Yeah, and part of that issue is, actually, I experienced it today when we were starting this video. My heated seat was on, but I couldn't see it. I definitely want the heated seat separated out in the screen so I don't have to push the climate to see it. I was roasting myself, and I didn't even really realize it, and I was starting to get hot and sweaty. and angry, and it was just that my car was roasting me, even
Right.
though I didn't push the button.
Exactly.
So guys, that is pretty much all we want to cover in our 2-year ownership update for the 2020 Tesla Model 3. Of course, we've had this car for 18,000 miles, 26 months. We certainly have spent a lot of time in the seat of the Model 3, and we still absolutely love this car. This is a great overall car. I know that we've spent a little bit of the last bit of this video complaining about some issues with it, but that's what this video is designed for. It's not pointing out all the things that we love about it. That's in our full review if you want to check that out. There's a lot of things to really like about this car.
Right, this is just about giving you guys a realistic expectation and a realistic look at owning it in real life, because you see all the reviews and stuff. That's going to give you a look at all the features and all the amazing things that this vehicle has, because it does have just some really amazing and spectacular features that we have enjoyed over 2 years and we still enjoy today. Of course, you are going to run into some bumps along the way.
Yeah. It's a Tesla, not a Lexus. Yeah.
That's right. We knew that it's not going to be 100% flawless, but we'll continue to keep you guys updated as these things progress, as our miles and time passes on. So make sure you subscribe so you can see what this is like in another 6 months, in another year, how we get these things addressed. And you don't want to miss out, especially if you're considering buying a Tesla Model 3 or any other Tesla in the lineup. But anyways, like I said, be sure to go down there and subscribe. Also follow us on TikTok and Instagram to keep track of what we do on the day-to-day basis and see our short form content as well. Take care.